The cameras flashed, the London crowd froze. A navy Bottega Veneta suit, a chic gray pencil dress. And just like that, well, Hollywood had a new 60,000 pound a night obsession, Kendall Jenner and Jacob Elordi. Welcome to StarScope Report. Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
I mean, I am genuinely so thrilled to be here today because we have just a wildly layered and honestly incredibly expensive mystery to unpack.
We absolutely do. And for you listening right now, the mission of this deep dive is to completely deconstruct this highly publicized London date night.
Right.
Because the headline everywhere is, Kendall Jenner and Jacob Elordi spark fresh dating buzz after hand-holding date. But there's so much more going on beneath the surface.
Oh, totally.
We aren't going to look at the staggering, almost incomprehensible luxury of their trip. We're going to explore the vicious viral internet backlash that is currently tearing apart their entire aesthetic.
Which is brutal, by the way.
It is, and we'll map out the Hollywood PR machinery turning the wheels right as the James Bond casting race hits a fever pitch.
It's basically the ultimate collision of pop culture, high fashion, and calculated corporate strategy that's masking itself as romance.
Exactly. So let's just start with the timeline, because this London debut, it didn't just happen in a vacuum.
No, it definitely didn't.
Right. If you've been following the breadcrumbs, these two have been quietly linked since, Coachella, back in April of 2026.
Yeah, April.
And since then, it's been this globe-trotting, under-the-radar tour. A quiet sighting in Beverly Hills, a trip to Hawaii in May, then bouncing over to Tokyo and Australia.
But they were always so careful, blurry photos, leaving venues through back doors.
Right, the classic celebrity maneuver.
Exactly. It's the kind of visibility that keeps the rumors alive without giving the public anything concrete to actually consume.
Which brings us to the actual catalyst of this relationship. And I was honestly stunned reading through the source notes to find out who actually played matchmaker here.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It was Kylie Jenner.
I have to admit, that is my absolute favorite detail in this entire saga.
It's so good.
It really adds this fascinating, dynastic element to the whole thing.
Yeah, according to the reports, Kylie spent a significant amount of time with Jacob during Timothée Chalamet's massive awards season run earlier this year.
Right.
She supposedly vetted him, liked his vibe, went back to Kendall, and literally told her to get on it.
You just have to laugh at the sisterly intervention there. It's almost like a royal court,
Oh.
I have inspected the brooding indie actor. He has passed the vibe check. You may now commence the courtship.
It's so true. And it clearly worked, because that brings us to the main event this week. So Jacob flies to London for the world premiere of his new Ridley Scott film, which is called The Dog Stars.
Right.
And to treat Kendall, he decides to book the Mayfair penthouse at Claridge's. Now, if you are listening to this on your commute or sitting at home, I need you to just brace yourself for the specs of this hotel room.
People are not ready.
They really aren't. It costs 60,000 pounds a night.
Just let that number hang in the air for a second. 60,000 pounds.
Yeah.
For one single night.
And for that price tag, you get an 11,840 square foot layout.
Which is bigger than most mansions.
Oh, easily. You get a heated 9-meter private pool, a private rooftop terrace, a fully equipped gym, and of course, a dedicated personal butler.
Naturally.
But the cherry on top is this insider quote from a source claiming Jacob booked it because he is a, quote, proper romantic and wanted Kendall to have an amazing view over London where you can see the stars.
I'm sorry, but for 60,000 pounds a night, you shouldn't just be looking at the stars.
Right.
The butler should be actively retrieving a star from the sky and placing it on your pillow. I mean, the sheer absurdity of a 9-meter heated pool on a roof in London is just staggering. It is a level of wealth that crosses over from luxury into the abstract.
It really does. But, the spectacle didn't end at the hotel. Following the premiere of the film, the two of them step out for a 2-hour dinner at Chinatang at the Dorchester.
A very casual spot.
Oh, very casual.
Yeah.
And then they carried the night on at Soho House until nearly 1 a.m. And crucially, they did this while publicly holding hands in front of a literal wall of paparazzi.
Which brings us to the fashion.
Yes. Let's talk about the clothes.
Because in the ecosystem of celebrity PR, the wardrobe is doing just as much heavy lifting as the hand-holding. We really have to look at the contrast in Kendall's styling here.
Okay, lay out for us.
So during the day, she was spotted in this incredibly vibrant cobalt blue button-down shirt, layered over a white tee and paired with black wide-leg pants and a burgundy Chanel maxi flat bag.
Right. A look that was very much aligned with current runway color trends. It was loud, it was minimalist, but striking.
Precisely. But for the nighttime debut, the tone completely shifted. She wore a very fitted, muted gray midi pencil dress with Bottega Veneta pumps and a black alligator Hermes Kelly pochette as a clutch.
Very understated.
Very. And Jacob stayed in his red carpet look, which was a sharp, navy blue, double-breasted Bottega Veneta suit with these subtle pinstripes.
It was incredibly coordinated, like almost suspiciously so.
Oh, completely.
And that plays perfectly into this academic paper I was reading while prepping for this deep dive. I was trying to figure out why this specific date night felt so, I don't know, stiff.
Yeah, stiff is a good word for it.
Right. And I stumbled on this research by Lindsay Blumel and Leah Hellmuller from City Research Online. They explore a sociological concept from 1961, developed by Daniel Boorstin, called the pseudo-event.
Oh, wow. That is a brilliant framework for this.
Right. The idea is that the pseudo-event isn't a natural occurrence. It's a manufactured moment designed entirely for media reproduction.
Okay, so like a photo op.
Exactly. Think of a politician cutting a ribbon in front of a new bridge. The bridge is already built. The ribbon cutting only exists so a photographer can take a picture for the morning newspaper.
That makes so much sense.
So applying that here, I really have to question the so-called romance of this London debut. Like, are we looking at a genuine romantic milestone? Or is this a meticulously orchestrated pseudo-event designed purely for public consumption?
I am leaning heavily toward the latter.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were sitting there listening and thinking, come on, maybe they just really like each other and wanted to grab some dinner, you have to understand the mechanics of how this level of fame operates.
It's a machine.
It is. When two stars of this magnitude leave a high-profile spot like Chinatown, they do not accidentally stumble into a blinding wall of flashbulbs.
Because they have options, right? Like private exits, underground parking.
Absolutely. They have massive security details whose entire job is to clear blind spots. So if you see them walking out the front door holding hands with the lighting perfectly catching the subtle pinstripes on his Bottega suit.
Someone on their payroll made a phone call.
Exactly. A publicist texts an agency like Backgrid and says, they will be exiting the front at 11:15 p.m. We want full body shots to capture the outfits.
It is a transaction. It's essentially a corporate unveiling.
But orchestrating a 60,000-pound pseudo-event is a massive gamble.
Oh, for sure.
Because you cannot control how the audience interprets it. And as we are about to see, the internet's reaction to this pristine aesthetic was absolutely brutal.
Brutal might be an understatement.
Well, if you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed because the psychology behind the backlash we're about to discuss is fascinating, and we've got even crazier stories ahead.
We really do. Let's get into that viral reaction. Because the internet did not give the PR teams the standing ovation they were likely expecting.
Yes, at all.
The paparazzi photos hit the web, and the Reddit community Arfomoy completely went to town on them.
The comments are so vivid, I actually have to read a few of them.
Please do. So the overriding consensus was that Hollywood's newest IT couple looks like a, quote, boring corporate couple.
Ouch.
Right. One user called them unbelievably milquetoast and then added, almost aggressively so.
Aggressively milky toast. That is devastating.
It really is.
It implies that being this bland actually takes a concerted effort.
Exactly. And another user zeroed in on Kendall's gray pencil dress, saying it looked like a corporate outfit from a 2007 business casual club night.
Oh my God.
And someone literally wrote, they look like a boring corporate couple who are going out for happy hour drinks after work on a Thursday.
The specificity of Thursday happy hour drinks is just, it strips away all of that 60,000-pound Mayfair glamour and reduces two global icons to a pair of tired accountants splitting appetizers at a TGI Fridays.
It really does. It's hilarious, but it also reveals a lot about what the public expects from celebrity culture today.
It totally does.
Let's analyze that expectation, because the Blumel and Hellmuller paper discusses the tabloidization of news and points out this massive paradox. The public idolizes the larger-than-life public persona, but simultaneously, they demand to know the real, authentic person behind the image.
And when the real image the public gets is just two incredibly wealthy, highly symmetrical people looking stiff and muted and gray and navy, well, the fans feel cheated.
Yeah, they want a show.
They want drama. They want a distinct vibe. They want passion. Fans pointed out that Kendall and Jacob are the exact opposite aesthetic to Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, who really lean into this very playful, tactile, chaotic energy.
Right, and it creates a serious emotional whiplash, especially for Jacob's fan base. Think about how he built his brand.
Oh, totally different.
He is the brooding, artsy, indie darling. His fans fell in love with his dark, edgy performances in Euphoria, Saltburn, and his Oscar-nominated role in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Which are intense, psychologically demanding projects.
Exactly.
His fans felt a sense of ownership over him because he seemed, inaccessible and mysterious.
Yeah.
But when you date a Jenner, you are stepping into the most accessible, hyper-commercialized family franchise on the planet. One Reddit user explicitly said they developed a massive crush on him after Frankenstein, but the minute they saw him in the Kardashian-Jenner orbit, they immediately got the ick.
Wow.
The illusion was completely shattered for them.
I hear that, but I have to push back hard on a specific narrative that was running rampant in that Reddit thread.
Okay, what is it?
There is this bizarre double standard where fans treat famous men, whether it's Jacob Elordi, Bad Bunny, Harry Styles, or Lewis Hamilton, like they are helpless hostages trapped by the Kardashians.
Oh, yes.
Like they've been kidnapped into a publicity stunt.
The surviving the Kardashians trope, it is incredibly pervasive and honestly deeply misogynistic.
Thank you.
It assumes these women are fame-hungry sirens dragging these poor, innocent, serious male artists into the tabloid mud against their will.
And it completely strips these men of their agency. Jacob Elordi is a grown, wealthy, powerful actor. He knows exactly what happens when you hold hands with Kendall Jenner in central London during peak paparazzi hours.
He knows it makes global headlines.
Right. We shouldn't assume he is being manipulated. He is a willing participant in a mutually beneficial exchange of cultural capital. He is exactly where he wants to be.
I agree completely. But, you could also argue that by entering that specific Kardashian-Jenner media machine, he is forcing himself to play by their rules, which directly contradicts the public persona he spent years trying to cultivate.
Which brings us to the ultimate paradox of this entire situation, which is the illusion of privacy.
Oh, the privacy thing is so wild.
Because Jacob has a very long history of claiming he despises the spotlight. Like back in 2020, he sat down for an interview with Vanity Fair and told them he wanted his love life to feel like, quote, 1920s literature.
1920s literature?
Yeah, he wanted it to be genuine, real, and completely out of the public eye.
Look, I love a Gatsby reference as much as anyone, but you cannot claim you want a quiet, private 1920s literary romance while simultaneously booking a penthouse with a dedicated butler and parading your new relationship in front of the London paparazzi.
No, you really can't.
It is the literal antithesis of a private life.
And Kendall does the same thing. She literally just told Vogue France in February of 2024 that her main goal is to stay true to myself and keep her personal life private.
It creates a massive cognitive dissonance for the public. You are demanding privacy while actively engineering a massive public spectacle.
It's wild. But later in this deep dive, we are going to look at the shocking career motive behind that spectacle and how it ties into a legendary movie franchise.
This is where it gets really good.
Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because the plot thickens when you realize who Jacob might actually be trying to impress.
The career implications here are massive, especially when you look at the project he is actually in London to promote.
Right. Let's talk about the Dog Stars. This is a major pivot for his career.
Huge pivot.
It's a post-pandemic survival film based on the novel by Peter Heller. Jacob plays a former civilian pilot who is trying to survive alongside a hardened former Marine who's played by Josh Brolin.
And the behind-the-scenes casting of this movie is just as dramatic as the premiere.
Oh, absolutely.
Ridley Scott originally cast Paul Mescal in Jacob's role.
Which would have been amazing, too.
Right, but Mescal had to drop out due to massive scheduling conflicts with the upcoming Beatles biopics. So Jacob steps in to replace him, which is a massive vote of confidence from a legendary director.
And Jacob was highly aware of that prestige. At the premiere, he was absolutely effusive, calling Ridley Scott the king of movies and a pioneer of modern cinema.
Which is pretty funny considering the contrast with his co-star.
What did Brolin say?
Well, Josh Brolin recently told Empire magazine that Ridley Scott's filmmaking style is so intense and aggressive that he almost quit the movie on his very first day on set.
Oh my God, that is intense. But despite the prestige of working with Ridley Scott, The real elephant in the room at that London premiere wasn't the dog stars. It was 007.
Ah, yes. The James Bond casting machine is operating at full tilt right now.
It really is. Amazon MGM Studios is actively searching for Daniel Craig's successor.
Yep.
Casting director Nina Gold is running the highly secretive process. And since 2025, Jacob's name has been sitting at the top of the studio's wish list alongside younger performers like Tom Holland and Harris Dickinson.
So naturally, a reporter from Variety stops Jacob on the red carpet and flat out asks him if he's been auditioning to play James Bond.
The million-dollar question.
Literally. How does he handle it?
He just flashes the smile, dodges the question entirely, and says, "I'm here on holiday."
It's the perfect deflection. It's charming. It's evasive. I mean, it is a very Bond answer.
It totally is.
Yeah.
So let's bring this all together using the final piece of that academic framework from earlier. The paper outlines two distinct concepts, which are celebrification and celebritization.
Okay, break those down.
Celebrification is essentially building the resume. It's the process of an unknown person becoming a celebrity. Celebritization is cashing in those chips. It's when a star uses their established fame to influence culture or direct attention to specific lucrative fields.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Jacob has spent the last few years mastering celebrification. Going from a teen drama like Euphoria to working with prestige directors like Guillermo del Toro and Ridley Scott.
Exactly.
Now he is entering the celebritization phase, basically leveraging that fame for ultimate industry power.
Exactly. And I want to propose a theory to you.
Let's hear it.
What if we look at Jacob's dating strategy as a calculated corporate merger? Think about it. Is dating a Jenner the modern Hollywood equivalent of purchasing a multi-million-dollar billboard campaign aimed directly at the James Bond casting directors?
Wow. I am so glad you brought this up because it fundamentally reframes the penthouse and the Chinatown paparazzi photos.
Right.
If you are Nina Gold or an executive at Amazon MGM, you aren't just looking for an actor who looks good in a tuxedo.
Yeah.
You need a human bulletproof vest.
Because the press tour for a Bond film is notoriously grueling.
Beyond grueling.
Right?
You need someone who can command the world's attention without crumbling under the suffocating scrutiny of the global tabloids.
Which is a lot of pressure.
It is a massive financial risk for the studio. So what better way for Jacob to prove to Amazon MGM that he can handle the intense, blinding spotlight of James Bond than by successfully navigating a highly publicized romance with a member of the most scrutinized family on television?
It is the ultimate stress test.
Yes.
If he can survive the paparazzi swarm in Mayfair, wearing the perfect navy suit, holding Kendall Jenner's hand, and dodging reporter questions with a smirk and a witty one-liner, I mean, he isn't just auditioning for Bond. He is basically playing Bond in real life right now.
He is proving he has the stamina for the circus. And suddenly, that 60,000-pound hotel room doesn't look like a romantic gesture.
Not at all.
It looks like a highly deductible business expense for the greatest audition tape Hollywood has ever seen.
Which brings us to a final lingering thought for you to mull over. The academic sources touch on this idea of a symbiotic relationship in mass media.
Right.
The theory that celebrities use the media, and perhaps more importantly, use each other to survive and thrive at the top of the A-list. It is never a one-way street.
There is always an exchange of power.
Always. So ask yourself this. Who is actually extracting the most value from this highly publicized romance? Is Kendall Jenner getting the prestige of an Oscar-nominated, Ridley Scott-approved, serious actor to finally elevate her brand beyond reality TV and modeling?
Or is Jacob Elordi getting the ultimate, unbeatable global visibility right at the exact moment a major studio is deciding who gets the license to kill?
When you look at it through that lens, the aggressively milky toast aesthetic makes perfect sense. They aren't dressing for a date. They are dressing for a hostile takeover.
Absolutely.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.